Hi guys! Okay, so this is basically going to be a short video on the advantages and disadvantages of the literal rule. This is for the Unit 1 of AS Law. For most people, I assume this is coming up tomorrow, as it is for me. And basically I'm making this just to sort of put into perspective what you probably already know, but to kind of say it differently, so maybe, you can remember it or retain it a little bit more. I find that seeing different people say things in different ways really does benefit me. Okay, so first advantage of the literal rule, it respects the sovereignty of Parliament. What I mean by this is basically judges must apply the law as set by Parliament, as they are the supreme lawmakers. And the literal rule means that judges don't kind of take the important decisions into their hands that should be taken by Parliament, and that is thus respecting the separation of power. And we can see an example of this, in DHS versus Royal College of Nursing. And basically the mischief rule was used, as I'm sure you know, and a lot of people argued that the literal rule should have been used in this case, as it would have been considered by Parliament afterwards, who would have maybe rectified the Act or changed it. Another advantage is that it's democratic. So judges are unelected, and basically it means for them to change the law is undemocratic in that we don't elect them to do that. And really, the people that should be changing the law should be the people we choose to change the law, or essentially Parliament. And that means that in that sense, they should follow the literal rule and then allow, as I said previously, for the Act to be amended by Parliament, which is respecting the democracy. Viscount Simmons once said that the remedy lies in an amending Act if a gap is open within an Act. This happened in Fisher versus Bell, when they used the literal rule, to decide that he was not guilty, and this was an absurd result, and they changed this by later amending the Act. Okay, so another advantage would be certainty and predictability. And what I mean by this is that it encourages certainty in that people know where they stand. There's not going to be any unpredictable results, as in, for example, R.V. Allen, where they changed the meaning of a word. And it means that judges, because they can't change the wording, it means that decisions are never going to be confusing, and lawyers are able to thus advise their clients on this note. And yeah, okay, so moving on to disadvantages of the literal rule, I suppose probably the biggest one is absurd results. If we look at Berriman, for example, Parliament obviously did not intend that you should not be able to claim compensation if you were killed while maintaining the tracks as opposed to repairing or relaying, as stated in the Act. However, following the literal rule meant that this absurd result occurred, and in that sense it's absurd and is not what Parliament would have planned. Another one is that it can add to the work of Parliament. Obviously they say if the wording in an Act isn't clear, it lies with the Parliament to amend this Act. However, Parliament is very, very busy dealing with new legislation, so to expect them to make minor changes is not helpful, and this is what Parliament had to do following Fisher versus Bell, as previously stated. Another disadvantage would be that it can often lead people to lose respect for the law and the legal system, in that, for example, again, Berriman, we can obviously say it's an absurd result to say that this widow couldn't claim compensation just because of a technicality based on language, and in that sense a lot of public undoubtedly would look at that case and feel that the legal system had not acted fairly and therefore not acted respectfully, and in that sense a lot of people would lose respect for the law, and this happens in a lot of cases where absurd results occur. Okay, so that was very, very short and very, very stuttery, but helped me, hopefully helped you a little bit, and that was the advantages and disadvantages of the literal rule.